Hi guys, welcome to another P3D version 5 video. We are continuing with our Boeing theme, which will soon reach an end. I don't think we have that many different aircrafts to cover left. I guess there's some though, like the PMDG 747-800 and the pilot's Boeing 314, the float plane. But but we're reaching the end, slowly and steadily. And today we are here with Captain Sim's 737-200 advanced model. And Captain Sim has quite a few different models. He has 737-100, the 200, the 200 Combi, the 200 Freighter, so a bit of a variety. And I have also on two occasions showcased the Milvis one, but I thought that this one deserves its own because it's a bit different. Because I have this total overhaul mod for it, which is available online, and which really makes this airplane quite great. Actually, one of the better Captain Sim ones. Most of them are pretty good, of course, in P3D version 5, but this really puts this aircraft on the same level. And we have today donned a Kenya Airways livery, pretty cool one, a bit of a classic style. Not sure if Kenya Airways had the 737-200 advanced, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Quite a lot of these airplanes went either as new or at their older days to Africa, because they didn't have the same noise restrictions, right, on the engines. And what else? I think what could also be good to mention is this is not a P3D version 5 native model, it's a P3D version 4, but it works flawlessly in version 5. I'm not sure if it has some PBR. I don't think it has PBR. I mean, the model is really good, like all Captain Sim, so I'm not gonna complain. I like the Milvis one, but I think this one is better on the outside. So that's just for your information. In terms of add-ons, we are using the freeware Mombasa add-on, available on Avsim. Had to do some tweaks and stuff to get it to work with the AFCAD editor, but it looks pretty cool. But you can see, it's a freeware one, and we're going to be flying from Mombasa to Nairobi, the capital of Kenya, where we have the FSDG light scenery. Where I also had to do some tweaks. It's P3D version 5 native, but there's some photo reel that wasn't meshing, so I had to remove some files. But it's it's pretty good. I mean, it's the light scenery, so not the best, but I got it on a sale for like €7. So the amount that you would pay for a drink, at least in well, you wouldn't even get a drink for that amount in Sweden, but maybe a beer, a normally priced beer in a bar, that would be around €7. So yeah, we'll be flying from Mombasa to Nairobi with this 737-200 advanced. Let's also actually get let's see if we can get the stairs to operate. I do hope it works. The GSX profile had some issues with these Captain Sim ones, but hopefully it works this time. We can jump inside. As you can see, the cockpit is not at all as nice as the 737-300 or the 757 or 767. This is a bit of a rougher cockpit, almost reminding me of their cockpits from FSX. But even there they have good cockpits for some aircraft. But maybe like their 727 lineup, like that cockpit. So this reminds me a bit of that. But you have some pretty nice features. You can open the the windows and sorry about that. Something gets stuck in my throat. But yeah, it's still pretty good in terms of the model. I don't think you have like the exterior model like you can see there's no nose. Kinda hate that. I like to sometimes put my camera right in the front and then have it film like if I'm going away, and then it's nice of course to see the nose of the plane, but yeah, nope. but at least you have the wing and the engine, so it's a bit inconsistent. But I think I understand why they have that, because this one does have an interior cabin on the inside, which looks pretty damn good, to be honest, for a P3 version 4. I know they had even back in FSX, right, with 707 and 727, they had the cabins, but this one is really, really cool, to be honest. As you can see, the configuration with 3 seats on both sides of the aisle. But yeah, and that's why I guess they have the wing model from the interior. I'm not sure if the exterior has that a nice model, a bit of a simpler one, but pretty nice though, because they have passengers actually on this one. So that's pretty cool. Like from the outside, right, you'll see some passengers. It doesn't look empty, and that's always nice to see. And yeah, it looks pretty damn good from the outside, this airplane. I'll give them that. Let me just jump back into my normal. I have some different viewpoints, right, to be back in the cabin. Let's do that, and I'm gonna close the door. I think it's around there, right? So yeah, the only bad thing is you don't have the load manager in the game, so that's a bit annoying. So we have a sim brief flight plan, but the way we'll do this is I'll do fuel and payloads from within the sim. We can check what our fuels are. The fuel is 14,200. I think we don't need the center. We should be able to get it with 75 and 75, 14,200, that's pretty good. Gross weight 100, our gross weight should be a bit higher, but I'm not sure how we can actually make that higher. Because I think we look to be pretty fully packed. The rest of the weight is basically the fuel for the max gross weight, so yeah, no can do. I'm just gonna accept them. We'll be a bit below. Let's say a huge chunk of passengers got delayed or something. It's in Africa after all, right? We're flying a domestic Kenyan flight. Easy to see that some international passengers got delayed. You can see we have a Condor 767 here. Pretty cool. That's a really old livery, so I'm guessing this is UTL Live, who's kind of, how would you say, which is inserting that plane into the sim. Yeah, that's the word. Let me see, I'm gonna connect the external power. Let's see if we have one on the outside. Doesn't look like we have something there, so that's a bit sad. Let's see if we have sounds in the cockpit. Yeah, we do. Perfect. So that's nice. No nav on these old ones. We have the yaw dampener. Ground power is on, so that's good. We can put on the wheel well lights and then the anti-collision position on. Yeah, that makes sense. You can see the lights are on now. I think some of these planes from P3 version 4 I would have to tweak the lights, because some of them are really strong. I think you could see that on one of my other videos. I'm trying to think with which airplane, but there's a few where like they're just too strong, too bright during the day. Then the opposite, you want them to be bright during the night, right? So yeah, now we're starting up. Let's have a look if there's anything. We can put on galley power. We can also start our boarding. We're supposed to have 130 packs. So let's request boarding. We'll do the same here with pack X. Start flight, and we are flying from HKMO to HKJK with flight 275, cruising altitude of 30,000, flight time 2 hours 55 minutes. We're flying a 737-200. Let's do a bit fewer passengers, 100 should be enough. We can play boarding music. I think we have Kenya Airways. I don't know how loud they will be though, so I'm already gonna say sorry in advance in relation to that. And then let me see though, I should have a safety. Now I'm wondering if I put that one into the wrong. Yeah, that's the safety demo, I'm sorry. So that one should be here. So I don't think I have the boarding music for Kenya. Let me cancel. So in terms of boarding music, we can borrow maybe from someone else. Let me see, maybe Ryanair. It was a long time since I heard that one. And then in safety, we have the Kenya Airways one. Here we go. And I borrowed that one from Quality Wings because they have some nice files. For safety announcements, we can start the boarding. I'll also start the GSX boarding. We'll have the crew join us as well. And then if we go to the outside, we have this tab, kind of old school, you might remember from FSX. We can open like the main door, we can open the cargo doors. Looks pretty well set up. Still that weird that they are getting like, depending on angle you get dark. These, I don't know what you call them, but these tugs or whatever, these vehicles, they become dark, like that one. So that's a bit unfortunate. Open exit 2. I think it's pilot windows. That's for some reason it's connected to exit 2s, but let's see. Okay, should be fine. I think that's solved. And to get started, we can put these down. These should not be on fuel cutoff. You can hear that great Ryanair boarding music. I really like it. It's a good one. I like that one in Norwegian. It's smooth. Oh wait, waiting for exit 2. Let me just have a look. What is exit 2? Did it now work? Now it seems to have worked, but what did I open for that to? I have no clue. Okay, the windows will be open. So, and this is the interesting one. So we have the ISG gauge. You need to buy this separately. So okay, it's not only a mod in that sense. You also have to buy something. But this one is worth the money, trust me, because you can put this in any aircraft. Even the Milivis one you could put this in. Not sure how to program it though, but it is possible. Just gotta have the time to do that. So route, it's not like full fidelity, but it's pretty high fidelity. So if we're doing route first, we'll do our airport. So Mombasa, and then we're going to Nairobi. Oh, that's wrong. It should be a J. Okay, there we go. We are taking off from runway 303. And then we can go to departures and arrivals. 03. We are flying Evid 2A. Any trans? Yeah. Gadla. Then we can go back to route. Check that. Then we can do an airway, UL. And this I think is pretty cool, right? That it's still, you know, it has even the airway capability. I don't even think the Coronado has that. So in that sense it's not bad at all. UT is 913. But of course you would have hoped that it had a bit more features since you're paying for it, but it's an old add-on, so gotta keep that in mind as well. It was more high fidelity one when it came out. We'll do the ILS 206. We're doing the Gobzo 2-piece, that's that one. And now let's do Prepar3d actually. I'm gonna import our flight plan. And then I'm gonna show it to you guys. So you are part of this flight planning. The SID. Vida 2A, and then Gadla. We can load that. Star. The star will be, so we're doing runway 6. Gobs to P, transition, yes, and then approach, and we're doing the ILS. We can do the C1, not sure what the difference is. The Y1 might be good as well actually. Let's do this, and then if we do NV, let me actually have a look if we have that option here. No, so we just have these different ones. I'm not really sure those those will be that helpful. Let me have a look again if we're doing Y instead. Then we have Yomok. Do we have that here? Some different ones, so a bit of a discrepancy. So what I'm thinking is we will do vectors to avoid any issues, right? Then I can move this down. I'm gonna connect to the sim and I'll file the flight plan. Is there a frequency? Ground frequency 1, 2. Shouldn't we be assigned there automatically? Odd, very odd. Because we are connected to the sim, right? Let me see. So ground frequency should be. Could of course be that it has a hard time to tweak. Might be that we have to set that up, right? Let's keep an eye on that. I'm gonna ask for IFR clearance, so we have that. Kenya 4003, ready to copy IFR clearance. Okay, and how high can we fly? One, 10. And here we don't need to set anything, right? Because we're doing the vectoring, so there's gonna be a discontinuity. We can activate that and execute. We do have init ref.
Kenya 4003 is cleared to
In
Hotel
squawk
Kilo Juliet Kilo
5563.
VVID2 Alpha departure with the Gadla
So
transition.
let's put
then
in
is
our
filed.
squawk, and I'm doing that with my
Climb to
Logitech
flight
radio
level
panel.
110 via the departure. Expect fire clearances 7 minutes after departure.
In terms of
Radar
our
control on
reserves,
122.7. Squawk
that should be
5563.
2.6. Oh no, sorry, 0 fuel weight. My god. Our 0 fuel weight. I'm trying to figure out. Our gross weight is
4003.
100.8, right? Let me see what our 0 fuel weight is actually, since I misclicked there. So that's 14.3 minus, so it's about 85 ish.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to welcome you aboard.
Not quite,
When you
86.
find your seat, please be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the
Let's
overhead
put that
bins
as
and smaller
86.
items
Then
underneath
the reserves
front
at
of you.
2.6.
Unless you're in a front row, please place
Then our
all of your
cruise
items
winds.
in the overhead bin. If you have any trouble finding a location for your carry-on items, please let a flight attendant know and we would be happy to assist you.
111.
If the overhead bin is full, please make sure you close it as a
9.
courtesy to other passengers.
There we go.
Please double check that all your items are put away so that
Take
the aisle
off.
is clear and other passengers
And we
can
should
make
actually
their
check
way to
this
their seats.
takeoff. I don't think we
If
can
you're
put
in an
anything in the
emergency
CG
exit row,
trim
please
though.
leave the exit seating
That's good to be
responsibilities
aware
with
of.
a card in the seat back
And the
in
way we
front
can
of
do
you.
this
If you're
is
not able to
you have this,
comply with
the
these
performance
actions, please let a flight
management
attendant know so that way
system.
we
You
can
might be familiar in
Now's the
it
time to get
if
out
you
any
watched my
last-minute
Coolski
text messages if you need to, but we ask that
MD82
once you
video.
depart from the
This
gate,
one
you
is
put
not
away any
as
laptops
advanced,
or
I think,
tablets.
but it's
Thank
pretty
you
nicely
and
set
welcome
up, and
aboard.
he's the guy who did the total overhaul mod has updated this actually. So we can start here. Oh, and he even has the settings, right? Cold and dark, so you can get like a proper cold and dark. I'm wondering if I should show that. We haven't done too much, so if you do that, cold and dark, you should get. Now we have ground power on, of course, right? So it doesn't go completely cold and dark. And we still have the, as you can see, we still have the the flight data here and the init ref, but basically that's a pretty neat thing to have, right? If you want to go completely cold and dark, you can see now the anti-collisions went cold and dark as well, and all of that. So it's pretty good. Let's do the yaw damper and the galley with those on again. Let me see, is there something else we need to do? I think that should be fine. The yaw damper should. Oh, well, let's have a look on that later, I guess. Do we have the? I think ground power is on, right? Yeah. Okay, good. So that was just to quickly show you. Let's see actually we have the fire. Yeah, you can hear we have the fire test. It works. That's pretty cool. And then you also have, I think, the light. I do think you should have the. There it is. So that's pretty cool. So they have those things simulated. Let me see. I think you can also change the ADI, so you can see an alternate one. I'm not sure which one looks better actually. This one looks pretty neat, but I'm more used to the other one. So then you can have ND mode, and you can choose between the old school one or the new one. So the ISG one or the ND one. It was pretty good. This oh sorry, this one was looks pretty nice, but I'm gonna use the one that's kind of the standard one, just to show you how it works in flight. Not that it's that difficult, but here we can also have a look. Weight. You can choose some of these settings. Zulu time. 0 fuel weight, right? Oh, we're getting all the info from here, right? So that's pretty cool. So we can actually use that info to update to 8.6.2 here on our 0 fuel weight. And we can even see our CGR kind of the weight balance on the aircraft. And where the fuel is stored. So that's nice. So now if we go to takeoff, you have all these different pages that will give you kind of the EPR bug setting, which really helps, right? That's pretty cool. So if we go to takeoff, we go to page. We can have the EPR bug set to auto. Let me see. There's something you have to do, if I'm not totally forgetting, in terms to get the. Let me just have a quick look if I can. Let me see if I go to. If I go to Sim Objects folder. There should basically be a sort of an explanation for how to but I'm wondering where I put it now actually. Files. Let me have a look if I can find it. I'm just trying to see so I do this one correctly so you can also follow it. here we have total overhaul, user gauge. There's also a bin gauge that you get with it. This one, so that's pretty cool. So okay, they really say that the PDCS, which the information is, or the computer is called, which is the performance data computer system, is not full simulation, but it's a multifunctional assistant, right? So it helps us virtual pilots with some features of a real PDCS. So I'm just gonna quickly, what I want to check is some elements are controlled by the mouse wheel. Oh, that's if you set it manually, right? Let me have a look here if you can tweak anything with the mouse wheel. Maybe not on this one.
We're ready to go when you are.
Okay, let's see if we go. Okay, there's nothing you have to do on the first page, which makes sense. Let's keep those as auto then, and let me just check. Okay, I'll keep it open. Let's see if we need to set that, do something. It doesn't seem like we do, but let's see. Seems like the boarding has kind of wrapped up, so that's good. We can put on the fuel pumps and just start the APU. Let's see that it actually starts. Something is happening, right? There we go. Now we're getting some effect. I'm gonna ask for pushback clearance as well. Kenya 4003, ready for pushback. Let's see with these. I think it's like heading and then nav, and that's how you get the nav mode to kind of work with the autopilot. Well, we can try it out as well by basically tweaking the. Yes, now you can see it's not following the flight radar, not following the heading mode, right? So that's good to know. Anything else we can do down here? We can put on the TCAS. You'll see this starting. So it's on TRA. Let's have a look on the outside. We can actually ask for boarding is complete, right? So we can operate the stairs. We'll close all the doors, including the windows. So you can see we are now closing everything apart from the cargo doors, which I'm closing now separately. There we go. So that's looking good. Let's see if we have any new information here yet, 'cause I want to see what our V1 speeds are. So we have them here, right? But I'm doubtful they will be the same. But okay, we shall see. Okay, you can reset there with the fuel. Okay, well let's see. I think the APU is now on. You can see the bus saying it's available. Apparently the ground power is shut. Maybe it did that automatically. Let me just check. We don't need the ground power. We can have this on open. Put on the APU. This is an auto, that's correct. The window heats can go on. I don't think these ones should be. I'm not sure how it works, like one of each or something. I'm just gonna put both of them on for now. But I think that's wrong though, so do keep that in mind. In terms of this, we can change that to 30,000. Then you can keep it on auto. Our landing altitude. Let me see if we have a Nairobi charts. Always a bit hard to find. Well, the elevation is about, well, pretty damn high. 5,000. That's a high, very high airport. 5,330. I managed actually to find the runway 6 chart for the instrument approach for the RNAV though, so not the ILS. Could be worse though. Okay, so 5,330. Oh, is that kind of the max you can go? Well, let's just do 5,000 then. Should be sufficient enough. Let's have a look at this cabin altitude as well, if we need to tweak that. Is there any... There's usually, you know, someone who has... What's this then here? Nah. I would just need ILS, right? That's the most important chart to get. I don't think it came with the airport though, that's always a bit sad, right? We do have the cow one, but that's only one page. Let's see, maybe we can find through pictures. Trying a bit here on their side to find the ILS approach. Usually you can find these online, but not this day, not today. And I guess it makes sense in some ways, right? Because, you know, it might not be the most popular airport, right? But look at this, what did I find here? Okay, maybe I found Nairobi, let's see. Yes, we did, I think. Look at that, someone had put it online. This is probably a really old one, 18, but not that bad, right? I'm actually gonna save this in my chart section. As you can see, I usually save charts that I find, just so I have them. Let me see, I think that was the chart, right? HKJK. Okay, good, and I'm gonna move down with this. And let's just bring up the runway 6 ILS. There we go, we have it open, good. Okay. Let me, sorry, I started jumping a bit too much. Let's have a look at pilot to ADC. it is telling us that pushback is approved, so that's great. We can ask for pushback then through the sim. Prepare for pushback and departure. Where we need to go is a very good question now. Let's have a look if Prepar3d can help me.
275. Our flight time will be roughly 2 hours.
So we're going to the right, actually, so that way. That's good to know.
If you have not already, please
Need to remember to also put on the weather radar once we get going. Let's see if we can hide this one. We can.
Flight attendants, please prepare cabin for departure and cross-check.
I would don't want to see the stab trim, right? Oh, here we can change. Also, you can check, so we can even get the bar reference. That's cool. I'm just quickly gonna change to Prepar3d actually, to
Hotel Kilo Mike Oscar
80s.
Airport information Kilo 2100 Zulu weather wind 101 at 5
wanna hear the
visibility
80s.
10,000 sky
Okay.
condition ceiling 1700 broken temperature 26 dew
Warm.
point 23 QNH 1011 advise on initial contact you have
1011.
information Kilo.
Thank you. And now let's go back
Hotel
to the airport ground. And let's do nose right. Let's do a reduced takeoff actually, because we're not that heavy. Let's have a look, it's looking good. I think settings are correct. We've got a pushback clearance, we've set the altitude and that sort of stuff. So let's release parking brakes. I think they said start at will if I'm not mistaken, so we will start at will. Oh, moving the camera a bit. I don't think this one has rain effects either, so that's a bit sad if compared to the middle of this one. Let's see. The engines are spooling up. Let's put that to start.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you aboard this flight on the Dreamliner. At this time, I'd like you to direct your attention to the video monitors for some important safety information about the 787.
That looks pretty good. 787, I guess that's the quality wings.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this Boeing 787-8.
Yeah, this is a 737, but close enough with the safety video. Okay, let's put that to start as well for a right engine. The left engine looks stabilized, we can put that to idle. There we go. Now you can see at the end there's a bit of smoke as well, we missed it now. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool effects. I think the advanced model, it's the same as the 200, but it has like more advanced, better engines, right? I'm guessing noise abatement or similar. Looking stabilized as well. Let's go to idle. Still haven't done anything here though, so let's
To help you find your way to the nearest exit. This Boeing 787-8 has 8 clearly marked emergency exits, which can be recognized by this.
all this is correctly set.
They can be located by following these green symbols with arrows, which will direct you to your nearest exit. Each exit is fitted with an escape slide or raft. We now kindly request you to ensure your mobile phone is on flight mode and switched off. Kindly ensure wireless connectivity on your electronic device is disabled.
And let me see if there is anything. Oh, you can set parking brake.
Seatback is in the
And
upright
confirm that we have a good engine start. I'm just trying to figure out this little computer.
tightly, ready for takeoff.
Reset PDCS, can you do that?
Tampering with the smoke
Reset
detector
OK.
while adherence to these instructions is an
Okay,
offence
still same.
by law. A safety information card has been provided in the seat pocket in front of you. We advise you to read this before takeoff. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, your crew will now point out to you your
I
nearest
think the
exit,
full,
which
let
may
me
be
just
via
check.
here.
Yeah, the reduce is available because it's changing the EPR, that's good.
The crew are happy to assist and ensure you have a pleasant flight.
Okay, so what we can do,
To fly
this
Kenya
doesn't seem
Airways,
to do
the
anything.
pride of Africa.
We can ask for taxi clearance. Kenya 4003, ready to taxi. There we got
Taxi
the
to
taxi
runway
clearance.
03 Kenya 4003.
Can't really taxi there, so we'll have to go straight and then right. Taxi lights, runway turn of lights. Let's have a look at the lights. You can see it too bright. But okay, small issue. Could be much worse. Wipers, do they work? They are working. Lovely to see. We can start the packs. Auto, shut AP, U packs. We need to do the generators as well, I just realized. The Gasper fan should be on. And we can then shut the APU. The pitot heat should go on, not like our latest flight with the Antonov. We had some troubles with that. We can also put on the weather radar. I haven't changed this one, I'm just using the default Captain Sim one. Might change at some point. Let's see here if I remember correctly. I think the way you do this... Oh yeah, you click like this and then you change the view, so that's pretty thrifty. Let's see if we have any information yet. No information. Oh yeah, because we're setting the flaps. I think flaps 5. I'll do that. Takeoff. Stab trim.
We're ready for departure.
Oh, that's not set correctly yet, so we put that to 0.6. There we go. And now we can see the V1 speeds, and those are set here, as you can see. So yeah, it works quite well, this extra computer actually. Or this performance computer. Let's put this a bit brighter maybe, if we can. I don't think it really says anything. It's kind of inoperable. It's working, but not really working. That's why I've been thinking of replacing it with something else, but... Let's see once we do that, or when we do that. Okay, releasing parking brakes. We got taxi clearance, if I'm not totally forgetting it. Yeah. Let's give some speed. And let's see, the EPR bugs, shouldn't those be set automatically, right? Because otherwise we can do it ourselves, right? It's not that, doesn't take that long, right, to set these ones. It's more of a quality of life thing to have it set it for you, right? Let's turn to the right here. Taxis very nicely. You can see the light moving with the wheel. That's pretty cool. Yeah, those lights are a bit intense. Seat belt signs and no smoking should have been on from the start. Mistake from my side. What we will do is though ask through pack X, will ask to seatbelt signs on. And now let's see a bit. Can we zoom in on this one, or is that... Yes, you can zoom in. So you can see, we can check, and it looks pretty good, the route. So that's nice. Let's see, right is clear and left is clear. And we are going left. This is pretty okay actually, freeware scenery. I mean, you know, it's kind of the basics, but it's, you know, very well done. For being on like an AvSim freeware scenery, this is like the highest level you'll get. And I mean, they even like did the rooftops and stuff, so it looks a bit like the Mombasa. I don't think actually there is any P3D Mombasa. There is actually only one, but it doesn't, I mean, it looks better. I can show you quickly, but it's not the best. I mean, this developer is, I mean, look at that, the autogen missing there. I mean, so many small mistakes. This FSX scenery, it's really like the last resort, kind of. It has good reviews though, and it works in up to P3D version 4, so will probably work in version 5 as well with some changes. Let's see what else. One nice thing I like about this one compared to like the DC-8 for example is you don't have the autopilot here, you have it here. So that really helps, right, with the control in this aircraft. Okay, we're taxiing down. You can see there's some helicopters there, I think some military jets, some trainers, military trainers. And let's see once we get closer to the actual runway if we get the handover. Let's see, yaw damper is good, everything is looking fine and dandy as of now. So that's very good news. It's not a long flight, it's about 260 nautical miles. Will be a bit of a more hectic one in terms of, you know, we don't have an auto throttle, so that's good to be aware of. Oh, there is also a runway, I didn't even think of that. A very short runway though. So we should actually put on our landing lights already, which we can kind of do now. Anti-collision pass position light is on. We do have the fuel heats. Don't think we need to have those on. Let's see.
Tower on 118.6 Kenya 400.
Okay, now we're getting the handover. 118.6. And he was able to change. So that's good. Kenya 4003, ready for takeoff. Five knots, 101. So we'll have a bit of a crosswind. Nothing too bad.
03 squawking 5563.
A bit from the right.
4003.
Let's see, we have auto brake though, I guess. But is that used only for landings or for departures? I'm gonna put it on max just in case it's used for departure as well. Let's see, left is clear. At least the TCAS system isn't showing anything, and right is clear. So let's get on to the taxiway. Yeah, these are too strong, these lights. Looks like we are smiting the runway with our nice God presence. Almost looks like that, like we're some sort of angel aircraft with these strong lights, but yeah. Let's see, altimeter is okay. Is there a standby altimeter here? Can't see one. I'm guessing they're synchronized anyway, so I'm just gonna keep as is for now. Anything else? Does the panel lights work during the day? They do work, so that's nice. Does it help? Not too much. Okay, the bugs should be set right. We have reduced, we're doing 191. And I think we're ready. This one following nav. So let's just continue then. Okay. Setting takeoff power, let's see. I don't wanna go too high with it. bit high with the right one. Okay, airspeed alive. knots. EPRs are set a bit above, but I'm not gonna adjust now. 120 knots. V1. Rotate. Okay, let's see if we can get this aircraft to climb, and we are climbing. Positive rate of climb. Gear coming up. Do we need to do heading select as well? That's why. Okay, let's see. We should be going left now. This flight director is showing the total opposite. I think though it's been updated here, so that's good. Let's have a look and climb. Climb is saying 192, so we can keep what we have now.
Radar control Kenya 4003.
Okay, now it's working. Good. What I'll do now, look at that. We'll actually go to, I'm gonna have to pull down a bit on the throttles because we don't want to overspeed. Now when since we're retracting the flaps, right? Even though our climb EPR should be 192, but just so we stay within the 250 knots. Still looking pretty good. What we can do now actually is go on autopilot. Even though it is a fun aircraft to hand fly, right? These old school ones. Look at the kind of haze and stuff, or mist. Okay, let's see. We should pull back a bit more on the throttles, or actually climb a bit more. Climbing might be our solution. And I'm actually, let's see, now we're coming up from the kind of overcast. Let's see what the weather is at Nairobi. I'll put on the autopilot. And the way you do the pitch with this one, this is interesting, right? You don't have like a knob or anything, you use the yoke, right? So I'm just gonna bring the yoke back, just to kind of showcase. It's the same in the Milvis one. You kind of pitch down, you see, and now we can kind of increase our EPR a bit, quite a bit. I'm gonna remove this again, just so I see 197, so it's recommending it even higher. I'm not sure though. Maybe it's maybe I took control of it by moving it. We're not getting it automatically set. So 197. We're almost at that. Let's increase a bit. We should be flying autopilot now, so let's have a look. Nav should be on. Let's see if we do the turn.
Climb to flight level 180 Kenya 4003.
Doesn't feel like we are doing the turn. That's for VOR lock. Okay, let's see. So we're coming up now.
This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the duration of the flight and do not form a line near the lavatory.
We should be turning right now. So let's see if we do that. No right turn, but once we put on the heading select, it does seem like we are moving, but now we are, I think, moving because of the heading select, right? So that's or are we? No, because we have a nav on. Perfect, so that was the problem. We need to have the heading select on, and then we're also in the nav mode. And now we're moving to Gadla, our next one. So that's pretty good. So you need to have heading select on, manual here, heading here, and then nav here. We're climbing flight level 180, so we should actually raise this one a bit. Me who hasn't been paying attention, to be honest. 180. Let's see, we can go up to 207. We can pitch down a bit so we gain a bit more speed. We can also give our passengers the ability to walk around a bit and stretch their legs since we're out of the weather as well. Let's do it here as well. Like that. We're above 10,000 feet, the landing lights can go off.
However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when speeding in the face of unexpected turbulence.
So yeah, as you can see, it's flying pretty nicely. You have those dark smoke coming out of these not so environmentally friendly engines, but beautiful engines. I guess these are turbojets, right? The turbofans are the ones with they're getting bigger, right? To get the better bypass ratio. But these are more like cigar looking. So yeah, and I think the 737 Jurassics, right? The 100 and 200 models are the only ones that had these turbo jet engines, right? But I'm actually gonna double check that I'm not spewing out fake news. Yeah, low bypass turbofan engines actually, sorry. It is turbofan's engine. So it's actually only the 707 that maybe had the turbojets then. Interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting, yeah. Sorry for that, I was spewing fake news. Let me see, flight level 240. I'm gonna put this up to 3000 because we are gonna be getting clearances to go that high. And I'm also gonna decrease our climb a bit. Let's see, we're gaining a bit of speed. Should be at 212 in the EPR now. I need to do the bug as well, right? Okay, now we're going a bit above that. Shouldn't be too big of a problem though, since we're catching up a bit. We can just maintain a bit of a steady or a cautionary eye on the speed speedometer, speed gauge. And here we can see also max taxi weight, max takeoff weight, max landing weight, max zero fuel weight. Okay, that's interesting. Interesting though, it can have a higher taxi weight than takeoff weight. Never really thought about that, but it makes sense if you burn some fuel or get rid of some passengers. Let's see. So these are the panel brightness. But what's for all the... Well, that does not seem like panel brightness. That's more like floodlights. But okay. 212 still. We can see the outside air temperature. Here we can see the IS and the Mach. We can actually go to standard in the altimeter. 300. Okay. Whilst we're doing that, I'm just gonna check quickly. Oh, sorry, I brought back up the Mopasa one. I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna go and check quickly on the on the chart what's gonna be our decision height 5,500 and 5,530. So I guess that's 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's something like that, right? Because I guess we don't have anything here for. We have the VREF speeds, cross weights, engine out, hold, descent rate also calculated. That's pretty cool. Seems like it's saying that there's some clouds there. Looks like there might be some. So my guess is actually it's not non-functional, but it's just based on kind of clouds, right? I think that's where I read somewhere, right? That it's like a simplified weather radar in that sense. Luckily it's day outside, so we can just look on the outside. Let's pitch down a bit more, so we gain a bit more speed. And what else? We can prepare the auto brake to have that on medium. Let's see, we'll probably need to use the speed brake a bit, so I'm not going to start tweaking with that one as of yet. Let's keep the heading on straight line. What I did forget to say actually, which I just remembered, was that I do actually have photo reel for, I haven't gotten it for all of Africa yet, but I did get it for, I have Northern Africa, and then I have kind of like here in the east, I have Somalia, Ethiopia and Kenya, so that's freeware photo reel with Autogen. Thinking of expanding, because I'm probably going to do more ops here, because it's, you know, it's a bit different always flying, you know, different climate, different challenges. You can do different planes, for example doing a Kenya Airways, which is 737-200, that's always fun. Let's see, Kenya Airways, I'm gonna look up their fleet. Because they have a modern one now, I looked at it recently and it's very modern. So 737-800, 787-80, Embraer E190, so very modern. The cargo fleet, well that's some older ones, the 737-300 SF. But then there's one 737-800 SF. Quite a big fleet, 15 aircraft. I mean, maybe not country-wise a big fleet. It's a huge country, Kenya, but still pretty pretty good number for an African airline. Let me see. What else? Oh, interesting. They did have took delivery of the first Boeing 777-300ER, but they phased them out already in May 2015. Interesting. And they announced plans to retire all non-Boeing airlines. They had the Douglas DC. I'm gonna show you just a picture here. Look at this DC-870, right? I'm guessing those are the CFM engines. I think they were retrofitted. And then, let me see, so they have some downsizing, right? Oh, look at this.
Descend and maintain flight level 300 Kenya
Quite an
4003.
amazing variety of aircraft. Here we have the 200, so that's cool. It would be nice though if they had a more in-depth page when you could see when the planes were being phased out, but minor details. But yeah, look at this Fokker 27 as well. Yeah, that could be fun doing some Fokker ops with Kenya Airways. Need to get some more airports, but there isn't that many though, so that's a bit sad. Oh, I actually forgot. Yeah, we need to descend now. That's on me actually.
Flight level 300 Kenya 4003.
I totally lost track reading. I should have put it on hold here. So let's descend. a bit. Our passengers would not have been happy. That was an abrupt change. But let me see actually if pack X would have registered that. Didn't do too much, but that would have been a G. That would have been felt. Okay, let's see. Now we're kind of getting there. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Me being a bad captain. We'll soon reach our designated altitude. Let's pitch up a bit. Then I'm gonna go on hold here. We do have the autopilot on, fortunately. About 200 feet to go. 150. Let's arrest our descent a bit. At 100. Let's also put this on cruise. So 176 is their recommendation. I doubt that that's gonna be enough, but let's see. Now we are at the right altitude, so let's do hold. Let's see, 176 was their recommendation for EPR by the computer. I still think that might be a tad bit too low. But let's see. And look at these nice cumulus clouds. So here's a bit of an overcast, and then we have the cumulus clouds. Beautiful. Kenny also. Photo reel looking really nice here. Clouds also looking really nice. Not too far from reality actually. And let's have a look at active sky on our destination weather. So we're looking at broken at 1,700 feet. How does that make sense if the airport is higher than that? But okay. That might mean though that we have really bad visibility. The visibility is good, so not too worried. Altimeter 1021. And I'm actually gonna bring my whiteboard. I have this tiny one that I bought that I use for notes. So altimeter 121. So that should be fine. And I'm wondering how they do it in Africa in terms of I'm going to increase speed a bit so we can wrap this flight up a bit faster. 176 was the EPR setting, but I think we can have it a bit higher. I guess it depends also what oh yeah, it's saying that we should have another optimum flight level, right? So that's probably why also it's giving us a bit different.
We will be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Please look in your feedback for our list of
So if we're looking now at, we have a transition altitude of 9,000, which makes sense if the airport's at 5. So that's our TA, our transition altitude. Climb on runway heading to 6,000 feet. Then turn right. Okay, that's the missed approach. Hopefully we don't get to that, but let's see. Then I increase a bit our speed again, or our thrust, which will increase our speed. We're getting closer to our top of descent.
Expect the GAPS 2 pop on arrival with the GAPS 0 transition for the ILS Zulu approach to runway 06 Kenya 4003.
I do wonder what, do we have a top of descent here? Maybe, maybe not. We have about 20 minutes of flight left, so not too much. And I increase a bit our speed as well. Should be fine. Our max speed isn't that bad anyway, right? It's only 7.740, and we're not flying that fast at all, to be honest. I'm gonna zoom in here. Let's keep it on 40. I don't think I go higher EPR, will be going close to our maximum speed, but let's see. So you have a beautiful livery actually, this Kenya one. God, the engines are noisy on this one. And look at this. This is like my favorite kind of clouds to fly near or around. You know, you have some tops, some nice, you know, you can really see on the, you know, with the nice, beautiful countryside of Kenya. Even some clouds included with the photo reel, but no biggie. Could of course not be clouds, but you know, maybe someone is burning something, right? There looks to be some cumulus omnibus, so probably some thunderstorm. Hopefully we are able to avoid those though. Let's have a look again though at the weather. I don't think there was any precipitation or thunderstorms. Good visibility, yeah. Oh, there's actually, I think you can here see, because here we have the beautiful autogen, and I think this must be Tanzania, where you have landing class. I don't have a photo reel yet for Tanzania, if you get that. Because I think you have Mount Kilimanjaro here, right? So that would be, might be that is actually photo reel, just because Orbex has that for their Africa. But that should be, yeah, would be nicer with photo reel actually. Let me bring forward. Okay, you can see we're dangerously close to overspeeding, so I'm gonna pull back a bit on the thrust. Now it's about 16 minutes left of our flight. Let's see if I have just looking at some things here in the manual, but nothing of interest as of now. Still going quite fast. Don't wanna risk us over speeding. Specifically, we're gonna start descending soon as well.
Cross gap zone at or above flight level 275, then descend via the gaps to Papa arrival with the gap zone transition to cross CI06 at or above 7,500 feet. Altimeter is 2985 Kenya 4003.
Okay, let's see what we got in our descent now. So we are crossing Gabso at flight level 275. Above 7,500 feet. So let me just put that down. We can start our descent. I'm gonna pull back, or first I'm gonna have a look at, oh, now I managed to click the wrong. We should have an EPR. Yeah, let's start our descent. I'm gonna pull back on the throttles quite a bit. 2,600 is their recommendation. We can go to off. With the altitude hold, I'm gonna go to idle, then push down. Let's see, 2,600 was the recommendation. And we are now descending at around 2,500, so 2,400. That should be okay. Let's have a look at our speed a bit. Maybe we can give some throttles or some thrust, so we don't lose all that speed just because we're descending. actually writing to the guy who made the freeware scenery, or the photo reel, just telling him that it's really cool. So I did try some ops down here with Somalia and Ethiopia and now Kenya, and it's marvelous how good it looks. That's one a bit quiet. Let's put a bit more throttle in while we're waiting. We really don't want to go too slow. We're or we have cleared the gaps, so now. So let's see, our next one is in a bit. We should probably soon get a vectoring as well. Let's have a look. Still looking good. We're going a bit slow though. I'm gonna increase our EPR a bit more. Does this have an EPR setting that's suggesting? Doesn't look like it. There's one for holding though. Or maybe we can follow the cruise one, I guess. It's recommending that we descend a bit less fast, so let's do that. And let's see. Yeah, still descending. We are getting into the clouds now. Hopefully that's not a bad thing. Let's put down a bit the range on our weather radar. There we go, now I sent my message as well to Matthias. Oh, and I'm checking AvSim now, and there's some news. Orbex for P3D 6 is now in Orbex Central, so that's great news. Still seeing P3D being supported, even though I don't use P3D version 6 because, well, bad developer support. But I would definitely jump there if, you know, things started happening. Specifically if the volumetric clouds are a bit better. But yeah, look at this. Pretty good looking clouds. That part looks a bit odd, but other than that looks really nice. And here it looks very nice. Yeah. Direct Sky Force is truly worth it, specifically combined with Active Sky. I think that's a winning combination. Let's have a look how much is now left of our flight. About 13 minutes, so it's not a lot. Actually not a lot at all. I'm gonna increase our speed a bit, let's see if we can get a bit higher. I'm also waiting for an X-Plane update just because it's been so buggy with, if you remember my A340 flight, like I was so afraid of a CTD like multiple times. So yeah, let's see how that will develop. Answering also a YouTube comment now. But let's now get back into focus because we're doing the descent. Okay, so what can we prepare? Let me see. Mac CPR back set. Here on go around we have the VREF. 130, let's do 40, 125. We're close to overspeeding, so I'm really gonna be pulling back on the speed now. And we are off
Heading
course.
310 Kenya 4003.
Oh, but that's because we're not following anything. I'm gonna do it like that. And now we should be getting back on course. It must have missed somehow that I flew. Oh, it's because of the discontinuity, that's the problem. Yeah, it's my own mistake actually. That's a bit unfortunate always. Okay, about 9 minutes left. I'm doing quite a tight turn now. Should be stabilizing and turning to the right now. Ooh, look at that. That is not good news. My god. I do hope we don't end up in those clouds. I mean, look at that weather. That's a awful weather system. My god. I want to have a look at window now. Just solely because of that. And we're also gonna arrest our descent a bit, because I don't wanna cross 10,000 feet without being, or I need to be below 250 knots for that. Because now it's windy, and look at that.
Resume navigation Kenya 4003.
A lot of thunderstorms around, so that makes sense.
Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time.
Okay, resume navigation. We're almost at 10,000, so I'm really gonna arrest our descent now. And let's see if we can lose the speed. We're around 300. And we need to get down about 50 knots. So we should almost not even descend, barely, maybe descend a bit. I'll put on the landing lights as well now since we're at 10,000 feet. Okay, let's see. Let's actually hold the altitude for now, just so we lose that speed. And then we need to get down to 7,500 feet. I do hope there's no mountains. I've actually done really bad flight planning now. I haven't even checked the mountain ranges. I mean, now I'm following pilot to ADC almost religiously, which isn't wrong, but it could potentially lead to problems, right? It's never good to follow AI, or what would you say, computers, just without questioning them, since they're not at the level they need to be yet. And you can see, you know, we can already see the ground, so we're not that far off, right? We're only about 4,500 from the ground in Nairobi. So let's see how this goes. And I guess around here in Kenya, Ethiopia, right? This is like the cradle of civilization, right? Or civilization is the wrong word, but the cradle of humanity. But they did have some civilizations here back in the day. Yeah, let me see, I'm gonna arrest the descent a bit. I don't want us to go too fast. We're at 9,000, we should be down at 7,500. It's those saying that we shouldn't be, we should be at 9,500 at Upnum. So I'm actually gonna hold. I mean, we should descend, but we shouldn't descend crazy much.
Approach on 119.7 Kenya 4003.
Let's add a bit of thrust. Just enough to stay above, below 250 knots.
At 8,900 feet.
And let's see, what's our limitations for the flaps? We should, don't they have some here? 230 knots, okay. So quite a bit lower than the modern ones.
Continue descent via the GABS 2 Papa arrival, or the ILS Zulu approach to runway 06 Kenya 4003.
Okay, continue approach, or continue descent for the ILS approach. Around 6,700. I totally forgot to set the altitude here. So let's keep that. I hope we weren't caught by the storm now. But let's see, hopefully we just were able to avoid it, but let's see. We need to also set the ILS and the course actually, so we have that prepared for the approach. So, the ILS is 110.3. 110.3. That's for nav 2, sorry, nav 1, 110. .3. Guess it's fine to have both of them showing. We also need to have a course set, and the course should be 53. We can see the DME on now, about 25 nautical miles left. We can add a bit of speed. I'm gonna push the thrust a bit forward. You can see the autopilot is trying to maintain our speed. You know, the nose is up, but like the tail is falling off. Now with the thrust it should stabilize a bit. Because it doesn't need to pitch, right, to keep this, to keep the altitude. Okay, now we're going a bit fast. That was a bit extreme. Yes, let's throttle down. Let's have a look again. It's about 5 minutes left to our destination. We'll do the ILS approach. Or maybe 7,000 feet is from ground level, right? That would make sense, right? With the broken clouds. That's how you would see that. And then of course we do have an issue. We are at our transition altitude as well. So that should be 1021. So actually we were quite close to what we should be at Upnum. Actually this one is saying we should be at 9,100 feet at Upnum, so we were almost perfectly at that. Okay, let's see, we can see the ground now. I'm gonna start pulling back on the throttles. Gonna open pilot to ADC, so we just have that open in case we miss something, and then we can just read it quickly. I'll put the APR bugs for potential go around 213, right? Okay, we are descending. Or not descending actually, sorry. We are... There's airspeed is decreasing around 230, so we're gonna go flaps 1. And I'm just doing this in order to be able to descend a bit safer in terms of having a bit of drag. We still haven't gotten any vectoring, so that's interesting. Maybe it's after Apnom. But we can just follow the nav, it's going to get us there anyway, and the vector will be quite similar. Now look at that, there's some airport, probably a military one or something, or a general aviation one, a really tiny one at least. Okay, let's see, what else? We can now start descending again. Not by a whole lot, but a little bit. Oh, we didn't even have altitude hold on. So interesting that it was able to keep us at a at that altitude. We really balanced it out. And we got the clearance for ILS approach.
Runway 06 after Apnom heading 360 to join the approach tower on 118.7 Kenya 4003.
We're gonna go flaps 2. Oh, sorry, we were at flaps 2. We're going flaps 5. Because that's 225.
Inbound for ILS approach runway 06.
And I'm actually now thinking of
approach to runway 06 will call when established on final Kenya 4003.
I'm using this one, so we won't use that. We'll turn to the heading mode. And then let's see, because I do want to have this on approach. Let's put on our lights, because I always tend to forget those. Runway turn-off light should be sufficient. Let's ask our passengers to fasten their seatbelt signs, since I did totally forget to do that. Let's zoom in on this one. Let's arm the speed brake. Outer brake is armed, so that's good. Let's move a bit with the heading. Let's drop landing gears. And let's actually go to auto approach. See how this one how it deals with this. Because I do think we have that set properly. But to be on the safe side, actually, what I'm gonna do, because you never know with these things, I'm gonna go map just before we do our approach. So I'm gonna pause. I'm just gonna check that the ILS frequency is correct. Yeah, it's 110.3. So I'll close the map and I'll unpause the game. I just, sometimes with these airports, there's some bug. Okay, let's see. Now we got that engaged. Oh, that was pretty late. We should have had it turn in much sooner. It's not the best autopilot. I'm gonna do manual control. Cause there you can see that's the airport, right? This one was, we're doing a bit rogue here, African style. Not at all. I doubt some of these more serious ones like Kenya Airways would go this rough.
Approaching minimum.
Yeah, well, we're not stabilized, that's for sure. Continue. We had quite a low
Clear to
V.
land runway 06 Kenya 4003.
It's like 125, so we can really decrease our throttles. We're a bit low as well on our approach.
400.
Could be that I had the heading mode selected. Maybe I should have had that off. Then it might have captured the glide slope and those things sooner.
300.
Okay, let's see now. Oh, we're a bit slow actually. Close to our stalling speeds. Let's see if we can land this nicely.
100.
100.
50. 40. 30. 20.
10. Yeah, no, 10. 20 was the last call. Good enough, I would say. Let's activate our thrust reversers. We probably don't even need them. This was really efficient landing. Let's add some thrust already. Look at those aircraft there. Yeah, sorry about that approach. That was an awful approach. I don't know why this 737-200 has such a... I mean, the Milvis one, that was the RXP GTN, somehow messing that up, but yeah, even in this Captain Sim one, it was a bit delayed, but that could have been me having heading select on, so he basically was doing heading select, and then it was armed, but it just activated so late. I didn't even say I was established on final, I just realized, but okay, we'll survive. Kenya 4003, ready to taxi. And let's start the taxi lights, turn off the landing lights.
Ground on 121.6 for taxi
Start the
clearance.
APU.
Kenya 4003.
That low oil pressure should go off. Okay, we're getting the APU started. So yeah, a pretty nice flight. I'll definitely redo some Kenya Airway ops, I think. Hope I can find some more with this classic liver. I really like this one for some reason. But yeah, that approach wasn't the best. Two things first. Of course, not being really used to the aircraft in terms of the ILS and getting that armed properly. Second, going too low, honestly. And also, I should have turned more to the left on the approach and then turned to the right, so we didn't come at such a steep angle, right? That's also one of the issues the localizer would have, right, to capture. So all around, pretty bad approach. The landing was fine, but I mean, I would most days of the week I would take a nicer landing or a nicer approach than the landing part. Or I would rather take, of course, both being perfect, but yeah, I've come to appreciate the approach part more. Okay, the APU generator is on. I think we can close the packs. Pretty good sound with this one, I think. Not sure if the Milvis one has a better one or this one. The sound for this one was definitely louder though, so I'll give it that much. And here we have the beautiful Nairobi airport. And I kind of like this, you know, really cheap airport, a really cheap airport, you know, with basics like the airport, nothing around, nothing with like the cities and stuff. But I do appreciate that. It's better to have that than to have nothing. And it's also good on the FPS, right? It doesn't have to be too detailed. Sufficient for, you know, for it to be a nice place to taxi to and a nice place to land at, you know, a nice looking runway and that sort of things. Okay, let's just park here at the first one, just because we're lazy. Oh, I never asked the taxi, but we can actually close pilot to ADC. It doesn't really matter here at the end. I haven't really set up the kind of the proper taxi routes and that sort of stuff. Okay. So let's see what this is runway 8. Let's see actually if we have there, because I did set up the GSX profile for this, and looks pretty nice. A bit of dystopian airport. Like this looks like Soviet architecture. Or maybe fitting, flying a plane from the 60s. Thinking about Khrushchev and all of those. Brezhnev and all those nice Soviet guys. Yeah, let's see. We'll turn a bit so we can kind of nicely get. We can stop there, I think. Parking brake will shut the lights. So sorry about that. I blinded them completely. There we go. Lights shut. Shutting engine 2. Shutting engine 1. Let me just check if this profile does work. Oh, it does work. That's nice. So that's always nice to see that there's a GSX profile for an airport. I'm always glad about that. Let me see if I can open the main door. And then I'll do seatbelt signs off. And then let's see if pack X is now deboarding. We'll do end flight 265. So not a soft landing, but not a hard one either. Quite okay. Extremely ahead of schedule. I am always ahead of schedule. I put the right expectations, right? 2-hour flight for this, yeah. That's reasonable. Let's see. Don't know why the slats are still low oil pressure. There we go. Now we have the speed brakes down. Sorry about that. But yeah, good flight overall. Let's have a look at the landing replay. I'm gonna guess 380, but let's see. A bit more. 460 should be enough. 445. There we go. So here you can see a nice landing coming in. Looks like we're a bit high, but we're kind of okay. I mean, apart from the approach, the landing was pretty stabilized. Not that much wind. We avoided the thunderstorm that was on its way. Flaring a bit much maybe, let's see. Oh, but we landed really nicely on the touchdown zone. And on the center line as well. That was a nice landing. Yeah, that was a really good landing actually. And look at that, the thrust reversers, speed brakes, everything. Yeah. Such a cool system for the thrust reversers. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you learned something. If you have any questions or similar, just feel free to comment or reach out to other channels. But yeah, have a good rest of the day. Bye bye.